What we've got here today is a 1965 Ford F100. It's a customer vehicle. It had been sitting for 10 years. The fellow wanted power steering and power brakes installed, so that's just what we did. It's now got power discs in the front and it's got power steering. As far as it not running for 10 years, we got into the engine and we found some damage to the camshaft, flattened out lobe, lifter was all chewed up, and it had a bent push rod. So that was all repaired. Edelbrock Performer camshaft, same for the intake. It's now got a Holley 4-barrel on there, and everything's been cleaned up under the hood. So we'll open the hood up here and zoom in and describe exactly what it took and how it looks. All right, so here we have that 352 FE V8 we were telling you about. We spent a lot of time cleaning this engine compartment up and I think it looks great. We got a powder coated Edelbrock intake here, powder coated valve covers, fan shroud, air cleaner. All this work was done by my father and I. We had a pretty good time doing it, I think. You can see some other custom things here is this battery tray. You also got these new brackets to mount this power steering pump on the front of the engine. And you've got double groove pulleys on both the water pump and crank to be able to spin that power steering pump. Alright, so we'll take the air cleaner off and show you what's under here. Made a custom tube for PCV venting. So under here is a Brawler carburetor. It's a Holley unit. It's 600 CFM manual choke. We were pretty pleased with the way this thing works throughout the cam break-in, test drives, and getting it tuned up. Everything was pretty nice, pretty user-friendly. Ended up adjusting the float level and the rate at which the secondaries came in, but other than that, it was great. So we got some custom brackets under here as well. You see we had to space up the throttle bracket to work with this Holley. We also got a clamp here to make this heater hose routing nice and neat. And way back we got a little heat shield for the hot wire down to the starter. It runs in between the header tubes. We talked about this fan shroud a little earlier. Want to get you a little bit better view of it. This was fabricated for the truck. We had to make clearance for the lower hose and also make clearance for this upper hose. So it did dictate the shape of this thing. It ended up being pretty stylish if you ask me, so I think it turned out great. Next I'll show you the distributor. This is a stock unit that's been converted to Petronics, so no more points. We're also using the Petronics coil and we've had good luck with it. It's been working good for us, so we're happy. Next I'll show you the power steering pump again. This is a Saginaw pump. This is GM usually. Come down to the steering box itself and you'll see the modified engine perch. Clearance has to be made to fit that bigger box there. And it's bigger this way and it's also bigger towards the steering column, which causes more of an issue. So the normal box is usually ends about here, manual box, and then we've also done a U-joint instead of a rag joint. So the total difference up towards the column is 2 3/8. Everything needs to be moved up, and that means the column needs to then be shortened to 2 3/8 so that steering wheel is not right in front of you. So this has all been moved up. This bulkhead bracket is new. The normal one comes down a ways, so now it's as flush as it could be. You can see these shift linkages for the 3 on the tree shift have all been modified to bring them back the 2 3/8. Everything has been brought up. So inside of that column there's the actual steering column shaft, there's the shifter shaft, and there's the steering column tube. So all 3 of those had to be shortened, cleaned up and put back together, and they all had to rotate inside each other, and everything here turned out great. So we'll bring you inside and we'll show you what that looks like inside now. Looking inside the truck at the steering column, there's really not much to see. After everything was shortened, everything is now back in its stock location. So the only way you'd really know is to start the truck and drive it, and you'd have nice power steering. So I'll bring it back inside the engine compartment and we'll talk about the brakes now. So we did convert this thing to power brakes, discs in the front. This is again a GM style master and a GM style booster. The way they adapt that to the Ford assembly is with a belt crank here in the back. So this booster comes out too high, and they use the belt crank to bring it down low to where the Ford booster would come out. So that all actually bolts in pretty nicely. Here you can see all the routing for the new brake lines. There is a proportioning valve, distribution valve down here at the bottom, and then 2 lines to the front and the rear independent of each other. This truck also uses a pressure switch to activate the brake lights, so you can see that there as well. We're real happy with the disc brakes on this car. It stops real nice.